They could give two talks. But well, it's just the sounds of the bird in our midst, and that's fine. I think all of you were probably at Ernie's funeral, and we had a chance to talk about his life and what a wonderful time he had with life. And like all of us, he had his ups and downs. But the story of his life was one of laughter and love, and particularly the latter part of his life, where he and Nana had a chance to cross paths, if you will. As the saying goes, it was a wonderful time when the two souls met. A couple of things that keep Ernie in mind for me that have nothing to do with the way, well, I think in fact it does have something to do with the way he lives his life, because if he hadn't, it probably wouldn't come to mind. But the day of his passing was the day of my wedding anniversary. And the year of his birth was the same year as my birth. And so, as Lana and I have others that at times talked about Ernie as our laughing Buddha, I hope that when I pass that I'll be remembered as a laughing Buddha just like Ernie. And one of the ways that we use with our time as we celebrate things like this, at least in our tradition, is to burn a stick of incense. And the incense is one where, as you do it, it's like a prayer. If you will, those things that, thoughts that you have for Ernie in his passing, those thoughts of love that you want to share, those times of laughter that you want to remember with him. But also, those things where it's a way of sharing with Ernie in the universe that not only did we love and appreciate him, but we're also doing well, that we are flowing with him through time, and that in ways that very personal individual where Ernie may not be able to give the same type of support that he did while he was alive, that we're trying to help each other in that same way. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to ask you to do, is for each of you, during chanting I'm going to do in a moment, to take a stick of incense that's over here, and I'll be lighting the candle, and to light the incense, and whatever good wishes. Happy birthday is always a good one at this particular point in time. But remember, you are honoring Ernie and honoring his line throughout the passing of time. And so share that with Ernie as you will. And for each of you, it's something that you should say to yourself, not out loud. And let your energies be ones that mingle with the universe and with Ernie as you do it. The chant I'm going to do is called the Great Compassion Nirvana. We did it at Ernie's memorial service. And it's a chant that is in ancient language, not spoken today. But it's one that is intended to carry our energies with it. And so the intent that we give to it is the message that the chant gives. And by its name, you can tell the Great Compassion Nirvana it's intended to have compassion as one of the elements that we're utilizing with it. But the Nirvana, if you will, is a reference in many ways to enlightenment. And if you will, enlightenment being that awakening. Ernie is clearly awake now, and we all have our time of awakening as well as we continue. Do you know whether there's anything that you'd like me to touch on before we start this part of the ceremony? Well, let me light the candle, and when I start chanting, Lana, if you would be the first to light the incense. And there's no special place to put it in the bowl. This is a place that the ashes vulnerable. And if the child would like to do one, that's just fine. You can help her as you wish. Great compassion, Dharani, Sindhutam Kridarani, Namaradhanaya, Namadaya Parukiji, Sevaraya Mudisaraya, Saravaya, Mahakarunaya, Om Sapavaye Sudarana, Daraya Rasanu, Namakarirama, Imamaya Parokije, Sevaratapani Radanta, Namakarinaya Mahanga, Isami Samavasagana, Suvanaye Yom Salvabodana, Avamarami Sudadam Tanyata, Om Aroge Aroga, Majiroga Chikaranje, Hare Mahamudi Sarava, Samara Samara Harinaya, Guru Guru Kama Saraya Sadaya, Doro Doro Miyonde, Mahamiyonde Tara Dara, Karina Resevara, Chara Chara Marani Mara, Amara Muje Hevi, Roge Sevara Ami Sami, Nasaya Nave, Sami Sami Nasaya, Mohagarami Sami, Nasaya Horo Horo Mara, Horo Hare Kanava, Nava Sara Sara, Siru Siru, Soro Soro, Muta Muta, Mudaya Mudaya Medariya, Nirakanta Kamasa, Nasanam Paraharanaya, Manasabaha, Sitaya Sabaha, Mahasitaya Sabaha, Sitayuye Sevaraya Sabaha, Niragantaya Sabaha, Parahamukha Singhamukaya Sabaha, Anamahataya Sabaha Chakarayuktaya Sabaha, Sangha Sumnane Mudanaya Sabaha, Maharakutadaraya Sabaha, Amasaganta Isasi Chera Karina, Yakarachama Vivasanaya Sabaha, Namo Ratanadara Yaya Namagaya Parogije Sevaraya Is there anything anybody would like to say before we end the service?
I have a couple of comments. I talked a little about my own experience with what you were talking about earlier and attitudes towards life and death in the East. And when you were talking about it, you were referencing it in terms of Eastern religions, but I have the happy experience of being married to someone from Asia who's in the Catholic tradition. And one of the very special things about the Philippines is that people do not hold it against you just because you've died. And so one of the first people I met when I arrived in the Philippines was my mother-in-law, who I had seen at the wedding, and we stayed in her house. But the very next day, first thing in the morning, the next person I had to meet was my father-in-law. And it just happened that he passed away 7 years earlier, but it was still felt very important, as we don't hold it against people, the fact that they died, that I meet my father-in-law. So I met my father-in-law and met two other very special people in the same cemetery, the Aquinos, the Ninoy Aquino, who gave his life for Philippine independence, and his wife Cory Aquino, who was the first president after the overthrow of the dictatorship. And I tell this story because this is the same way I feel about my brother. I don't hold it against him, the fact that he's died, and one of the reasons why I wanted to come out and celebrate his birthday was that he's not in a position to come and celebrate it in Washington or Hagerstown or Baltimore. And for me, Ernie is very much the person that he is, notwithstanding the fact that that his spirit has left the confines of his body. And so after the service here, obviously we'll be headed out to greet Ernie at his current resting place.
Anyone else? To share.
Even though Ernie left his body, his essence, his true self, his soul, if you will, is still here, and he has given me confirmation of that, and I feel it, and it's very comforting.
I'd like to say I was not able to be here for the service for Ernie, and so I feel honored to be here to help honor him for his birthday.
Yeah, he was one of the best friends I ever had. I call him Pappy. And we had more talks. I mean, that's all we ever did was talk. And he taught me a lot. And I'm going to carry everything with me the rest of my life that he taught me.
Ernie was a good teacher about a lot of things.
Yes, he was.
I'd like to do a reading. I failed to get my glasses out, but I think I can get through it without them. And this reading is from the Dhammapada. This is a collection of various sayings of the Buddha that have been put together on different topics. And this particular translation is one that is, I think, poetic, and at least for me, it's one that I associate with. And the topic is joy. And I can't think of a better topic than remembering Ernie than joy. Live in joy and love, even among those you hate. Live in joy, in health, even among the afflicted. Live in joy, in peace, even among the troubled. Live in joy without possessions like the shining ones. The winner sows hatred because the loser suffers. Let go of winning and losing and find joy. There is no fire like passion, no crime like hatred, no sorrow like separation, and no sickness like hunger, and no joy like the joy of freedom. Health, contentment, and trust are your greatest possessions, and freedom your greatest joy. Look within. Be still. Free from fear and attachment. Know the sweet joy of the Lord. Just a moment to breathe and say. We'll end with what is a traditional ending for services in our tradition. It's called the Bodhisattva vow. And what it is a vow to try to make the world a better place for others, as well as to make the world a better place for ourselves. As we take on those things that sometimes can be obstacles, and we vow to overcome. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passions, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
We brought a lot of joy to the world.
You can see the laughter in his eyes.
Flowers of love.
You're really nice. What did you think? Did you have fun? Good.
Yeah.
Would you like to strike the bell? Okay.
No, the other side. Yep.
That's it. Very good. Now listen to how long it goes. Strike it again. And hold that. Now listen. See, tell me when it stops ringing. That's a long time. Okay. You do it. That's kind of cool. You're welcome.
I love you guys.
And would you like to hit the hand drum? Okay. That's exactly right. In the temples, we use this as a call to wake up in the morning. And it starts off trying to imitate the sunrise. And during the time of our training, I'm a morning person, and I absolutely love the sound of it. My wife is not a morning person, absolutely hated it in the morning, loved it the rest of the day. So we would really stretch it out. Did I hear that when I'm laying in my bed? I think I heard it. I did hear it. And they would do that 3 times. Just like we started today. It was the sun rising on our ceremony.
Any particular significance to the 3?
Yes, the 3 is in Buddhism. It's called the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And the Buddha, each one represents one of those. And the Buddha is talking about, of course, the historical Buddha, who is the teacher who led our tradition. But it's also talking about anyone who has been a Buddha in our lives, if you will. Anyone who's been a teacher, someone who has helped us in one way or another. And all of us know that person, that teacher, and for all of us, there are lots of them in our lives. But it also honors those people who helped us in lots of other ways. There are those people who have done something that really made us angry. And what it did was taught us how to have patience. It taught us how to look beyond when somebody has pushed our buttons, and taught us to know where those buttons are. So it's really very broad when we're talking about teachers. The Dharma is talking about the teachings or the law. It's translated in a number of different ways. And so it refers to teachings that the Buddha did, and the teachings that sometimes they were aimed at individuals, sometimes they're aimed at broader groups of people because of certain things that could be helpful to everyone. But again, when we're talking about the teachings, just like the teachers that we talked about a moment ago, it talks about the teachings that others have given us, things that have helped us. If you talk about being in the Catholic Church, those teachings that help there. And so those things are what I'll call the laws of the universe that we have to recognize, for good or for bad. It's a part of the way things are, and to be able to find balance with it, that's what it's about. And the last one is the Sangha. The Sangha is a community of monks and nuns and lay brothers and lay teachers, lay brothers and lay sisters in the Buddhist tradition. If you will, it's the Buddhist community. But it's also the broader community. It's those group around us, it's our friends, it's our family. And the more we learn to understand the Sangha, we find that it's all of those in our community. And eventually we understand it is everyone that we're all a part of the same world, we're all a part of the same Sangha. And so those 3 things, the 3 strikings, the Gong, the strikings and the Motok 3 times, they are a way of sort of reminding ourselves of that. When we bring our hand up, we traditionally think of this as sort of the prayer pose in the West. But at least within our tradition, it's not. It's a reminder to be mindful, to be aware of what we're doing. And it represents bringing the heart and the mind together. So, if you will, one's the heart, one's the mind, and we're bringing them together. And so when we bring it up, we're reminding ourselves to be whole, to be balanced. And that's what it is.
A lot of people don't appreciate it in the Trinitarian religions and the Catholic Church and others that the 3 comes up And what it represents is the three characters of God. God is God, God is a king, and God is man. And so when the wise men bring three gifts, they bring gold for the king, they bring frankincense, which is a worship incense for God, and they bring myrrh, which is an herb which was used in the burial of people. So even the three gifts represent this Trinitarian God, king, and man. And that's a theme that runs through Catholicism, even though, as I say, most people have either forgotten that or don't appreciate that theme runs through that three.
And, you know, as our symbols can be things that are most helpful to us because in something that's short and easy, it can be that thing that touches our heart when I need it. It can be those things that give us courage when I need it. And those things that help us find balance when we need it. For some of us, we need a lot of that. Well, it's good to have you here. And I won't be able to join you